Hey guys, this is Mac again. I'm back today with number 1 in a series of vlogs that I'm going to do now. It's been a while since I've been able to put out any videos. I've had a lot going on. Me and my family have moved, so we're in the process of both selling houses and buying houses. But as you can tell, I'm in a new locale here today. Got a room in our new house where hopefully I can do some videos like this. And I'm still getting the garage set up for the typical kind of videos that I would usually do on my workbench, reviewing parts, installing parts on my rifles and handguns. So today's just kind of a quick update to let you know that I'm here in our new location in South Georgia, which is a lot closer to where I grew up. And also today, for this first vlog, I guess I just wanted to kind of quickly go over how I got into competitive shooting and 3-gun, because it's a long and sort of extended story where I started out doing this sort of stuff really early in life and then sort of went away from it for a while. So actually my first competitive shooting was actually when I was in 5th grade. I was a kid that grew up on a farm, started out with a Daisy Red Ryder BB gun, just like almost every other kid in the southeast. And I would run around in the woods shooting birds and squirrels and rabbits and that sort of thing growing up. But the Georgia 4-H actually can get a lot of credit for getting me into competitive shooting. We had well, I guess what's called a BB team when I was in 5th and 6th grade, and we shot these sort of modified Daisy BB guns. They were a little bit fancier than Red Ryders. You loaded them from the muzzle, one shot at a time, and we had peep sights on the back, with a blinder over our left eye. And it was really kind of cool. Basically, competitions consisted of you shooting 4 positions: prone, sitting, kneeling, and standing. And you could use a sling and that sort of thing. And we had a pretty good team. Both years I was on the team finished in the top 3 in the state of Georgia. In my 6th grade year, I think we finished 3rd, and we got to go to nationals in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So that was a lot of fun. I was a pretty good shooter. I mean, I was never somebody that really, won state or anything. My 6th grade year, I almost won district, but I sort of choked it on the last position and ended up getting, I think, 3rd or something. So both years that I was on the BB team, the sort of the older high school, middle school, and the cool kids all shot on what was called the shotgun team. And basically all of us young kids, we were just dying for the day that we got to be on the shotgun team. So in middle school, 7th and 8th grade, I transitioned over to the modified trap shotgun team, and basically you shot off of a trap that was right over to your right-hand side behind a big board so that you couldn't see where the operator was going to aim the clays. And you shot 25 targets. And your goal was always, to shoot a perfect 25. And that, took a lot of practice and sometimes a little bit of luck from the person who was throwing the targets. But we always had a really good team, and it basically consisted of us throughout my middle school and high school. We won state 5 out of 7 years. And it culminated in my senior year. We shot a perfect score of 125. All 5 shooters on our team all broke all 25 of their targets, and me included. I finished in the top 5 individually in the state, I think 2 out of those 4 years. So that was a lot of fun. And that basically got me started in competitive shooting, and I think helped me develop a lot of the skills that you need as far as being able to shoot under pressure and come through in the clutch. This was my first shotgun that I ever had, and I shot it first couple years in middle school. It's a 20 gauge Brown & B80. It's a gas operated shotgun. Basically has no recoil at all. And I'm a kind of a small guy, so 20 gauge was good for me to start out on. And I eventually transitioned in high school to a 12 gauge. I initially tried a B80 12 gauge, exact same shotgun but in 12 gauge, and that did not work out for me. I actually was having a horrible year, so I went back to the 20 gauge for the rest of that year. And then the next year, my daddy was actually able to find me this shotgun, which is a Browning 425 over and under. This is I guess like a skeet or a Sport and Clay's trap shotgun. And this is my baby. Went to that in 10th grade, I think, and shot a perfect score. It stayed every year with it. So I love that shotgun. I actually dove hunt with it because it's such a good shotgun. It's heavy as crap. But anyway, that pretty much wound up my competitive shooting there actually for many years. I went on to college and actually got into playing music a lot. Had a rock band for many years. And I didn't even shoot. I hunted a little bit, but I didn't shoot Sport and Clays or anything like that for probably all throughout college. And even up until then, I never shot a handgun. Just never had any interest at all. Shot rifles a lot, you know, deer hunting, that sort of stuff. But anyway, then I got up to when I moved to Augusta into postgraduate school, and actually got my first handgun. I think maybe 2010 or so, about 4 years ago now. SIG P228, really awesome handgun. I like it a lot, but I never really got into the whole competitive handgun shooting at first. It was more of just a personal defense kind of thing, and then actually ended up getting my first Glock right after that, a Glock 23, because I wanted a handgun in .40 caliber. For personal defense. And then I met actually my best buddy now, Jared, who we were working together at the time, and I really don't remember how the topic came up, but it somehow came up about him building AR-15 rifles and shooting in competitions locally, and I sort of got the bug. And you know, he told me how AR-15s are kind of like Legos for big guys, you know, and you can build them so easy yourself. So he got me into AR-15s, and I actually built my first one with his guidance. And he actually invited me to go down and shoot in this two-gun competition in Augusta. And he told me, he's like, hey, you got to come shoot with me. You know, this is a lot of fun. I went out my first one, and I won first place. So I'm like, oh, God, that, you know, that's for me. You know, I love shooting ever since I was a little kid and shooting competitively, so I got to go do that. So I went down there with my AR-15 and my Glock 23, and my first competition I was absolutely awful. And I realize now, after shooting a few years, what beginners go through when they go to their first competition. There's so much going through your mind. You know, you're trying to be safe, and you're trying not to disqualify yourself. And I did a couple of the most retarded things ever, you know, because I didn't know what I was doing. You know, thankfully I was safe enough and didn't get disqualified. But I think I got some footage that I'm showing here from my first ever competition, and you know, I'm absolutely awful. But you know, you got to start somewhere, and it got me. I was bitten with the bug after that. And naturally, my love of shooting shotguns in competition and shooting skeet and Sport and Clays eventually came back, and it sort of made me gravitate then toward three-gun. And Jared and I sort of kind of grew into this sport together, and it's good to have friends and you know, companions who, you know, you can sort of push yourself with, because it makes you better competitors. And you know, you can share gear and talk about things that make you better, and build things together, work on guns together. So that sort of blossomed into, you know, me starting out into three-gun. And for the first little while, I was borrowing a shotgun from him. But then I built my first, you know, three-gun tactical shotgun, a Mossberg 930, and that served me pretty well as I really got deep into three-gun. So that's just a little bit of how I got into shooting competitively. I've been shooting three-gun now for, I think, about 2 years. I've actually been doing YouTube a lot longer than that, but I started out posting videos on YouTube of music and cars and trucks and that sort of thing, and it has sort of gravitated into the channel as it is today, which is competition and three-gun oriented. And you know, shooting's really fun, and then putting content on YouTube, you know, to help new shooters out and to review products and to sort of help people work on their guns and improve their guns. You know, that's something I really enjoy doing. So hopefully today's video is just a quick sort of little bit of background about myself and how I got into competition shooting shows that if you just have a love of the sport and the drive, to continually get better, anybody can get into this sport. I really enjoy putting content on YouTube to help out other people and hopefully get more people into 3-gun. So this is episode number 1 in a new vlog series I'm going to be doing. I'm not sure if you say it vlog or vlog, but to me vlog sounds better. Well, first time I said it, my wife made fun of me. She said I wasn't saying it right. So anyway, we're going to call it vlog, and this is number 1. And I'm going to try to do about one of these a week because it's really easy to do it up in here, up in this room that I have here. I'm going to be using this room and a MacBook that I got here to sort of get some content on the channel without so much of the production that I usually have to go through to get a video. So I hope you enjoyed this. Next vlog I think that I'm going to do, I might talk about some optics. I've been trying out a lot of new optics lately, and there are a million choices for 3-gun, and a lot of people honestly have a hard time choosing. It's a big investment. You're talking about a lot of money. So maybe I'll talk about that in episode number 2. I appreciate you joining me for this sort of quick conversation here today. If you like videos like this, please like the video and maybe leave some suggestions down below in the comments of topics that you maybe want to discuss, because that's one thing about my channel that I do want to sort of broaden a little bit, is that the interaction between me and a lot of people who watch the videos. I really wish there were more comments on the videos. I try to respond to every single comment that I get, and I honestly don't get that many. So it's easy for me to respond to them. But I would like to sort of expand and get more people sort of talking about the videos and talking about topics as related to 3-gun. Because I think it helps me make better videos, and it also brings out content that you guys want to see. It helps me to know what you're interested in and what you might like to see from me, put onto my channel. So once again, thanks for joining me. This is Mac again. Please hit that like button for me. If you hadn't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm getting back going with the channel here. I'm going to try to be putting out at least one video a week going forward. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time.